One of the things that happened is that Donald Trump has decided that English should be declared the official language of the United States. Which one of you wants to go first?
Well,
Jean, you look like you're ready.
Well, I mean, it just reminds me of going to an elementary school in South San Diego when I was a kid, and it was against the rules to speak Spanish. If we were caught speaking Spanish, we had to write 100 times, "I will not speak Spanish." And this was back in the 1990s when there was this big anti-immigrant hysteria going on. And now we're seeing that really,
Yet again.
Now we're seeing it again. And this really goes back to the white nationalist agenda that I've written about. I mean, the English as an official language thing, this goes back to John Tanton, the Michigan eye doctor, who was the father of the modern anti-immigrant movement, who created think tanks like the Federation for American Immigration Reform and all these different organizations that were rooted in restricting immigration.
I mean, it feels so silly. Here we are, Julissa, in the year 2025, when Latinos and Latinas are clearly demographically the future of the United States. The issue of language is a little bit more complicated, but it just feels so completely retrograde that we are having this conversation yet one more time.
Yeah, and it's also really interesting because I'm having all these conversations with, I'm a newish mom. My daughter's almost 2. And I'm having all these conversations with other moms, some of whom are white. And, everybody is thinking about sending their kids to dual immersion.
Exactly.
Preschools, right? And so it's
all the
like
white parents are thinking about that.
Right. All the white parents are thinking about, how do I give my child an edge by having them speak a second language? So it really just, for me, is just another sign of what I wrote about You Sound Like a White Girl, which is that white people want our language, they want our culture, they want our sazon, but they don't want us. Right? So they want to be able to speak Spanish, but they don't want us to speak Spanish. And the truth is that speaking Spanish can be dangerous for some people. Like, you've seen these 2 women in Montana be detained by Border Patrol because they were speaking Spanish. There were schools where you were not allowed to speak Spanish. In the 20s and 30s and 50s and 60s, students would be beat if they were speaking Spanish in schools. The real danger to me is 2 things. One is the risk of seeing Latinos once again retreat from Spanish. That maybe we don't want to teach our children Spanish again because of the fear of how that might affect them in the future, the fear that they might be discriminated, which is a big reason why a lot of Latinos don't speak Spanish. And the second thing is, there was an article in New York Times that said that the executive action was mostly symbolic. And I disagree with that. I think it's more than symbolic. I think that there are going to be real consequences from things like just even from emboldening people to discriminate against those that are speaking another language, particularly Spanish, to things like federal documents not being, if you go into court and not having a translator, voting materials not being translated, all of these things that maybe we take for granted because we see translations in a lot of places. But by the way, somebody had to fight for those translations to happen.